everyone. This is Mama Z. We are Souls Unshaken. Welcome to our kitchen table. I'm sitting here again with my son, Jonah. How are you doing, Jonah?
I'm doing good, Mom. How are you?
I'm doing great. The weather is beautiful outside.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm usually a bit of a mess on the inside, but I'm feeling really good today.
That's good news. I'm noticing something different today. You are not wearing your hat.
If I'm being honest, I kind of just forgot it, but I'm liking the look.
You're always good looking to me anyway.
Thank you, Mom. But part of why I'm so happy today is something really incredible happened recently.
What happened?
So, well, we planned to talk about media for longer than just a day. But as of recording this, yesterday, a really big event or reveal or showcase for Nintendo games, or at least games that are going to be coming to Nintendo, happened yesterday. And on that list was a full-scale remake of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Legend of Zelda?
One of my favorites. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't really liked the most recent 3D games. I don't necessarily take a whole lot of issue with them. Sometimes being a fan of something is admitting when the things you loved about it aren't really there. So that's been a little bit tough to deal with, but seeing this remake come basically out of nowhere, that's a big deal.
Did you get it?
No, it's not out yet, but I'll be pre-ordering it as soon as I can, you bet.
Yeah, but it's not the kind you have to wait outside this game store 4 a.m. like you did with your dad.
Honestly, if I could, I might just.
Was that a Super Mario game?
That would have been, it must have been Super Mario Galaxy that Dad did that for. But all this really has just got me all the way wrapped up in nostalgia. And that's turned me to thinking about all the things I've taken away from the media I consume, all the things it's taught me, all the joy it's given me. And I think there's something really special about stuff like that.
Yeah. When you say media, what comes to mind first to me is news, everyday
Really?
news.
Yeah, that's fair.
So then I don't know.
But that's not really what it means in full. It's like a book you read. It's a piece of media. A movie or a TV show you watch, that's a piece of media. Like Star Wars for me, right? That's media. We often use the media as shorthand for news. But really, that only barely counts as media compared to the other stuff, at least. It's kind of in an odd gray area. But I was wondering, as I remember all these things that brought me all this joy.
Right.
I wonder, what was that for you? Because we grew up in completely different cultures, different times, different locations.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when you say media, immediately I'm thinking about CNN and, MSNBC,
Well, forget that part.
all of these things. So, which we try to avoid, not to listen so much to it because it stresses you out. But now that you're explaining, to think of it, I didn't really have that much, when I was younger, much of movies per se. I think that by the time I was in high school, that's when, in my city, anyway, in Durban, South Africa, when they built this beautiful new mall that had a beautiful theater that we went to watch movies. But most of the time we didn't have money for movies. So what happened is that just before you enter the movie theater, there was like a hangout area with a huge screen where they play the music of the time. So we just went there to sit in this area and eat popcorn or something and then watch these videos that were playing most of the time. But when you talk about movies, because I kind of missed out on the movies in the beginning of when everybody else was watching movies. What we consumed more than movies was before we had the videos that you rental videos. That's when we consume movies for me, because we can go rent videos, But at the time of movies, it was mostly TV for me.
Really?
TV shows.
I grew up with TV too, in a way, but obviously my cartoons are a lot different from what it was you were watching.
Oh, TV was starting at 6 p.m. to whatever, 9 or 10. After that, it'll go to a global ball with colors. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about.
Not even a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
it was shut down. And the whole day, you'll have this global, you old people who know what I'm talking about, the global ball that was sitting on TV when you turn it on. And it will stay the whole day until the TV starts coming in. It will have a clock, a digital clock in the middle. And sometimes as young people would literally sit there and watch that. There was nothing else, no music. I don't even think there was music behind it. It would just be a global ball.
My generation had is the equivalent of that is on a DVD screen when there isn't a DVD in yet, watching the logo bounce around the screen and waiting for it to hit one of the corners.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we did that. Yeah. But TV shows, Knight Rider, you probably don't know nothing about that. There was this car that talked.
I know Knight Rider.
Yeah, oh man.
That was new for you, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, did we love that movie, that show? We look forward to that. Knight Rider, this black car, and it will talk, and it drove itself with
didn't know you
David
watched Knight
Hasselhoff.
Rider.
David Hasselhoff.
What did you guys think of him?
Oh, he was a god. He had a car that rode itself. That could come save him in trouble. Yeah. And then after that was, of course, the Baywatch, right?
Mm-hmm.
We watched the babes of Los Angeles at the beach, striding, and the guys, And then we had Beverly Hills 90210, which was a high school show made in Beverly Hills. That's what we thought America was about. Because you saw this Beverly Hills and school summer is coming up. And of course, we didn't know that school can close so many months, right? Because, it's only a month in South Africa you close school. And everybody's getting ready for this, right? And they're getting jobs. It was amazing. So we watched that when I was a bit younger. Mr. T with the haircut and gold chains. You ever know about that?
No.
Oh, my gosh, guys, help me out here. Let me see. When I was now old enough to have a boyfriend, Martin Lawrence was our go-to when one of us have a disappointment, where we go sit and eat Magnum ice cream. We watched Martin Lawrence. We watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
With Will Smith?
With Will Smith. I don't remember. There was, what was the other one? The old man. I'm sure, gray hair, he had a son.
Old man, gray hair, he had a son. It was a TV
Mechanic, he has a mechanic. He used to just talk smack all the time. Dad loved him too.
It wasn't George Carlin, was it?
No. Oh man, how can I forget this show? Oh, African American.
Oh.
Him and his son always was talking about stuff. I forgot. Anyway, we'll come back to him. I know you guys remember who I'm talking about. But
Wait a minute. Wasn't it Everybody Hates Chris?
oh, that's young.
That's young. That's pretty new.
Yeah. That's young. Anyway.
Well, it's younger than you, at least.
No, that's much, much younger than me. Yeah, absolutely. But I'll remember. Oxford? Something like that. I forgot. Anyway, never mind that. It will come back. So those are the old shows we watched, and we watched. For us, This is America was a big deal, right?
Really?
Because you get to see all of these things. Movies come from America. Movies come from Hollywood. All of these things we watched, and and when videos started to come, you can rent a video. Oh God, did we love that? That was so fun. Every Friday we got to do that. But the movie theater visit itself was not a thing that I really did. So.
Wasn't, because in America there's like 2-3 movie theaters in every town. Like, it doesn't matter if you're in the actual middle of nowhere. There's an AMC somewhere.
Yeah, not where I came from, because everything was in the city. and you had to get on a bus and trains and all of that. So no.
So it was movie rentals for you.
Yeah, but that even happened when I was old. I mean, I was 20 something when I could do that. Yeah. So, to think about if there was a movie that maybe I go to that gives me memories, I really don't know. But I can think of a Christmas movie, Home Alone.
That was a classic.
That was always so fun, especially in New York. Being lost in New York, I think that was the one.
I liked that one.
Yeah, and then of course, all I ever thought about, oh my God, I would love to see that White Christmas, in New York, and just couldn't understand because summer is Christmas time.
Yeah, it's summertime in South Africa.
So to see that on TV, I think that was my favorite movie ever. If I ever thought there was a favorite movie, there would have been. Yeah, have any favorite movies? Of course, amongst all.
I've got a bunch I do really like. Like from last year's Superman. That was a great one, right? But it's got to be Star Wars for me.
I was gonna say Star Wars, perhaps.
You might remember when I was a kid, before Dad ever actually showed me Star Wars, I was dead convinced I didn't like Star Wars. I thought sci-fi was just the lamest thing ever. I didn't want any part of it. And when the trailer for the sequel came out, the sequel trilogy, Dad was like, no, we should watch Star Wars so you can see it too. And I was sitting there on that couch, just fully like I wanted to hate it, right? I was sitting there like, all right. Not 15 minutes in, I go, oh no, I think this is my favorite now. There's a whole lot of Star Wars movies. A New Hope was the first one most people were shown because it's the first one they filmed. But I think my favorite might be Rogue One, if you remember.
Ooh, I love that too.
That was a powerful one.
That was amazing.
I really enjoyed that ever since The Force Awakens, the first sequel, me and Dad always went to see the movies together when they came out. But Rogue One's definitely my favorite, even though it's a spin-off. But I was thinking, as for TV shows, for you, well, for me, it was cartoons. It was Ben 10.
I can't believe you got to watch Ben 10 because I felt like that was older than you.
It was Teen Titans. It was Static Shock. That one was definitely older than me. Static Shock was a really cool one to me. It wasn't my favorite at the time. But if you were a black kid and you wanted to see yourself reflected in a TV show as something other than a comic relief side character or an antagonist character, you didn't have a lot of options. But Static Shock was one of them. And a superhero, no less. That was kind of rare at the time. And that was so important to so many kids to see not just a black superhero, not just a black superhero in a leading role, but a black superhero who was also just a normal black teenager most of the time.
Yeah.
That was a really powerful thing. And I underestimated at the time how important that was. But my favorite at the time, that was Steven Universe.
Oh, Lord, did you love Steven Universe? Yes. Just because I remembered what I was thinking about earlier, Sanford and Son. That's what I was thinking about, the old man, Sanford and Son. But there were all other African-American TV shows that, speaking of, seeing yourself into TV or represented into movies or whatever, it was so cool. For me, especially coming from a country that was segregated, to see that America give opportunities, right, to people like me. And they doing this just with such freedom, with such beauty and pride. it's just like, yeah, that's what we want too. We're not asking for much, right? We just want to see ourselves being equal or being entertainers and all of these things. And
That's a lot of what Steven Universe was for a lot of kids. Like I talked about how important Static Shock was for me as a black kid, right? Steven Universe was so much more important as a queer kid. Because in the premise of the show, of course, there's these space aliens represented by gemstones, and all of them are female. But they can still have relationships with each other. They can still feel love. And my goodness, Cartoon Network tried to take that show off the air hundreds of times.
they did.
They tried to, plenty of times. The show's creator, Rebecca Sugar, had to dial it down a bunch of times so studio executives wouldn't throw a fit over it. But even through all of that, they managed to get that message out. They managed to be uncompromising, at least as much as they could. And even beyond the queer representation, it's just a really beautiful piece of storytelling. Music was excellent, inspired by Michael Jackson or the Sonic the Hedgehog games. The animation was really beautiful. Really everything was something that it was such a labor of love for them.
Yeah.
They weren't making an action show to sell toys to kids or a superhero show because superheroes were popular. They were making something that mattered to them.
You remember shows that you loved when you were young? Like, let's
when
say,
I was young.
But between 3 and 5.
I liked Wild Kratts a whole lot.
What about Thomas the Tank Engine?
Ooh, Thomas the Tank Engine was it too.
Speaking of buying the toys that come from the show, Mickey Mouse and...
Did you know George Carlin did the narration for Thomas the Tank Engine?
I didn't know.
It's his voice, it turns out.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engine and all the other tank engines. Yeah, Wildcrafts, you love that a lot. And then Dora, you liked it, but not so much.
I liked Dora, but there was other stuff I also liked.
Yeah.
Martha Speaks.
Yes.
The talking
dog. What about the Clifford,
Clifford, the big red
dog? But all of us love the Looney Tunes.
We all loved Looney Tunes.
What was that one that runs Speed something? That likes that one too as well. I think he watched it when he was young.
Maybe it was the Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Yes, that's the one.
The Roadrunner always goes beep beep.
Exactly. But when we watched Tom and Jerry, that became our thing when we be feeling down or gloomy. And we knew when we watched that, guaranteed you're going to laugh and it will lift your spirit up.
Or even when Dad was a kid, because these things have been around forever, right? Even when Dad was a kid, it was the Flintstones. It was the Jetsons.
Oh, yeah, I watched those too.
It was Speed Racer, Lupin the Third.
Yeah, you love that.
You know, Lupin was around back then?
I have no idea.
Me neither. And I think all of that's so cool that these things can span across cultures and generations.
Yeah.
If they really matter to people.
What about the movie that as family, when we just want to be joyful, we watch?
We love Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, absolutely. What's your favorite part?
I really like towards the end of the movie. I like a lot of it, but I like 2 parts. First part I like, towards the very end of the movie. It's Po the Panda. He saves the day. He and Master Shifu are lying on the ground together, seeking inner peace. Po looks over and goes, "You want to get something to eat?" Master Shifu sighs and goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I like that part because it always reminds me of me and Dad a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think my actual favorite part out of that movie, and I think it might be yours too, is the scene with Master Oogway, where he he and Shifu were talking about Poe. And they're talking about the nature of controlling versus nurturing. Oogway says, you can't control the rate at which the tree grows. Shifu counters, but I can choose where I plant it, and I can choose when I plant it. But Oogway counters, yes, but if you plant a peach seed, it doesn't matter if you wish for an apple or an orange, you will get a peach. And as a kid with ADHD, that meant a whole lot to me. Understanding that it doesn't matter if I want to be something else or if the people around me want me to be something else. They might want an orange, they might want an apple, they might want a lemon, but I'm a peach.
Princess Peach.
From Super Mario.
From Super Mario. So we know this, that we do take comfort from movies and shows. Also, we can have quotes that stick with us, yes? And they're movies that we want to watch when we're feeling sad and we don't want to be helped to get better. We still want to cry. We watch a cry. Well, I don't know what they call that. There's a term for that where you watch a movie that helps you cry more. But also the movies we want to watch when we want to be a family and having fun, not something new, but something that reminds us something joy.
We sure liked the Aristocats.
Yes, we do love the Aristocats. But I was also thinking about one of the episodes you mentioned, a show that you and I used to love, Gilmore Girls.
The Gilmore Girls.
What was it that we loved so much about that show that even when we moved from one place
to a small town,
we were looking for a Gilmore Girls town? What was it?
That is an excellent question. Partly, when I was a kid, I liked it because you liked it.
I like to watch with you, yeah.
But when I was young, I didn't really know a lot about you as a person. So getting to share something that you liked before I liked it, that was kind of cool to me.
Yeah.
But there was something about the way it captured small town America that there's something special in there.
Yeah, sure is.
I think for a lot of people, the spirit of small town America was in that show. And even if that doesn't really exist anymore, or even if it didn't exist at all to begin with, there's a nostalgia and homeliness to that.
Yeah.
Even if you've never experienced it yourself.
The community closeness, the mayor, and all of the characters.
Everyone knows each other. Everyone's a mess.
Yeah. Everyone is a mess. But I love that also. And thank you for introducing me, you and Dad, to Star Wars, so I could be current. When you're having a discussion, I can know who's Chewbacca and all of these characters. Thank you for that. I know that you get philosophy from that too, you know.
Chewbacca was always my favorite
character. Yoda.
Ooh, Yoda was Dad's favorite
character.
Yeah,
so thank you for introducing me to this. Now I'm not still current with most of the movies, whether they're new or not. And if I were to say I have a category of movies that I really, really like, I don't think I have, but I do like Steven Spielberg's movies a lot.
He's a great director. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He's a great director. He really is.
I want us to move on to the next thing that is under media. Video games.
Video games. That's an interesting one for us as a unit. Because for me, Dad and I would play the games together. And that's how I got into video games. But you didn't really play video games.
Hey, I was participating. I was sitting on the couch yelling at you guys when you fall. It's like, what is going on here? Come on, don't you see? Even though I couldn't play, but I was up there yelling and cheering.
We would keep messing up really simple jumps.
That's all I could do, because in terms of eye coordination with my hands coordination, that's really hard.
For a long time, I wasn't there either. I was pure garbage at it. But playing those video games helped me with that.
You started at 3, brother. So
I
you've
started
had
at
a
3
long
years old.
way
It's
of
true.
going with your dad.
It's true. The first video game I ever experienced was watching Dad play Super Mario Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even read yet.
I love that.
Every time a character would start talking, I'd go, "What's it say, Dad? What's it say?"
And he would read.
And he'd read it for me.
Yeah.
And of course, the adventure, the whimsy, all that was great. That was excellent. But also, it was so important that it was also a sad game in some ways. That every couple of missions, you could come back to the hub world, to the observatory, and you could find Rosalina in her library, reading a story about how she left her home behind.
You love the story.
I loved that story. There was this quiet sadness to it.
Yes, it's
that
true.
when I was really young, I didn't even know an emotion like that existed. Not sadness. I knew sadness, but sadness because of a happy memory. I didn't know what that meant yet.
Isn't there a word for that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I want to think there's a word. Never mind. Continue.
Nostalgia, melancholy, these things get close.
That's the word, melancholy.
And it was a really important thing to learn that things like that existed. So when I did get into Zelda, no more than 4 years later, absolute most, when I was 6, 7, 8, I chased that feeling a little bit.
Looking for it.
Looking for it because I thought, what is this? I think I want to feel more of this. Not because it makes me feel good, but there's something that compels me there. And the game Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, sequel to Ocarina of Time, that was that game for me. It was a fun adventure. And there was so much value I gained from learning to solve puzzles or remember details. Sometimes you'd be given a quest where an NPC tells you something and you got to go track down the other NPC and remember what the first one said. Things like that. But more than that, it was a game that taught me before I had to grieve, how to grieve.
That's so good.
It's a game about loss, but also it's a game about healing and moving on. That's overwhelmingly what you spend your time doing. You spend time helping people who are in some form of grief, whether they've lost a loved one, whether they themselves are the one who's going to die. You help them through grief. You see all 5 stages in real time.
Wow.
And you help them. And what's critical about that is you don't solve their problem. You can't prevent them from dying, or you can't bring back their dead loved one. But you can help give them peace.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be my all-time favorite video game for that, always. Even if I haven't really liked the direction of Zelda for a long time now. There's something really beautiful about learning how to feel good, yes, but learning how to feel bad.
Because these are natural feelings that all of us has. You can't try to chase. I thought you can chase them and just always have to be happy. And it's not really true. It's not really true. I don't have experience in video games because it's nothing I had in my youth. But I know that people who came after me know a lot about that. And now I wonder if I can still play video games because that's kind of like, the only thing I knew how to play on computer was Tetris, I think.
Tetris is a good one.
Yeah, but that's about it. I don't think I can handle the this eye coordination and all that. But however, for the Nintendo games, the thing I enjoyed most was like a tennis.
Yeah. Those are made to be accessible.
Yeah, so we could stand up and do all these things and throw a ball to a
We
dog.
used to
and
play Wii Sports together
Yes,
so much.
it was called Wii Sports. So at least I participated with you during that time. But any other games, I enjoy sitting with you when you're playing Sims because I can relate. It's a
can relate to that.
family moving into a house. We're choosing a house.
Decorating the home.
Yeah, we're decorating the home, which I enjoy doing. So at least I can spend time. Remember when I find myself spending a whole day and I was mad at you? It's like, I can't believe I lost my entire day sitting here watching you.
You meant to sit down for half an hour, and then by the time you got back out 5 hours later.
Oh, I couldn't believe that it happened and I got upset. But we did spend time together. And then after that, you deleted the game.
Well, there were other games I wanted to play.
I came back. I said, how about we play that game again? I want to see the family. I found out you deleted the game. I couldn't believe you did that. The only thing I could play by sitting next to you and choosing with you the clothes and everything else. Maybe I'm too old for games. I don't know.
I disagree. There's this really popular streamer around who plays video games, and she's like in her 70s or 80s.
I saw that old lady.
Yeah.
Go, Grandma.
She didn't even grow up with it. She started it recently.
No way.
And now that I know properly what kinds of games you like, I think there's actually a lot of games you would find really rewarding. And as for the whole hand-eye coordination thing, that took me forever to get, but I did get it. And I think these days, at least for those types of games on consoles like Nintendo consoles, it's designed to be more intuitive than it used to be. It's designed to be something you can pick up and figure out in a couple of hours.
I hope so.
I think you'll genuinely find it rewarding. Though, I do miss games like Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Remember how invested Dad used to get in the boxing one?
I know, it's so funny.
It was
He was
always
so
funny to
serious
watch.
about
So
it. I know,
serious.
right? Yeah. But at least it was an exercise.
Me and Dad's favorite was always, I've been playing games where you fly a plane for a long time now. I
Yes, you
realize.
have, actually.
Me and Dad always liked to do the dog fighting on Wii Sports Resort. Or when Dad wasn't around, I'd love to just do the island flyover.
Yes, you
where
did that a lot
You just
over the
get in
ocean.
a plane and you like go to these little points of interest, learn about the islands. And I think that's beautiful.
That was great. That was great. I'm glad to see people who grew up playing video games and they're old now. They have their own families and they're still playing video games because it's a way of distressing.
It is.
And even better when they can play with their children. So, and I wish I could do that with you, but I just don't know.
I think you really can. I think you would enjoy Animal Crossing.
Oh, I love Animal Crossing already.
And that's when we can play together.
Okay. You want to teach me?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's really, really great. I'd love to do that. And of course, it's involving, decorating and dressing up.
Besides, it's a whole lot more active than watching a TV show. As fun as that is, your brain is doing all sorts of things when you play a game that it isn't when you passively watch something.
I do, however, I must say there is music that I really enjoy when I hear it, like a Super Mario music, Super Mario Galaxy music. Some video games you can hear the music that makes you get excited,
My first loves in music were all game music.
Yeah, didn't you try to play Super Mario music?
I did.
Yeah.
So it turns out the composer for most early Mario music and Zelda music was the same guy, Koji Kondo. And at some point, Dad used to like to go to music stores, right, for guitars.
Yes.
And at some point, I picked up a little book of sheet music for beginners, for kids,
Oh, cute.
featuring music from Nintendo games at the time. All-time classics like the Song of Storms from Zelda, or the Overworld theme from Mario, or the Underground theme, the di-di-di-di-di-di.
Oh, yeah.
That part, right? And I couldn't read sheet music at the time. I still barely can. But I just spend hours staring at the page and trying to sound it out.
You were always good in hearing and playing.
I am good at sounding things out when it comes to music. It'd be nice if I could learn the sheet music part.
That is awesome. I love that. Moving with that music idea to songs and music that we either grew up with or we love or just play in our heads all the time or even in your iTunes. You want to share something about music?
I have. This is very stereotypical, it turns out. But I like pretty much all genres of music.
I think I do too.
Except for pop country.
Oh, no.
I don't know why. Like Post Malone country, Taylor Swift country, I just can't deal with it.
I don't know if I
like country.
I like Taylor Swift as a person because the Swift crew might be upset. I do, but I don't really know her music that much.
I like classic country a lot. Johnny Cash or Colt Walters or all that. But pop country, I just can't do it. But moving on from the topic of country, I think I like a lot of classical music. Lacrimosa, Mars, Bringer of War, Ode to Joy. I like a lot of pop songs that are popular, which, of course, I can't think of any now that I say that out loud.
I know the feeling.
I like plenty of hip hop. I Wish, Still Dre, California Love. But I think I really like electronic dance music, and I'm not really somebody who listens to it for its intended purposes, which is dancing in a club. But bands like Daft Punk, that was really, really popular when I was a kid. And I kind of grew up with it in a way. I've loved their newer stuff like Get Lucky or Lose Yourself to Dance. But also their older stuff, like Around the World or Voyager. I don't know if Voyager is older. Maybe not. But point being, I think Daft Punk is kind of like that one band I can always come back to. They've got at least one song for every mood I'm in.
My music and your music taste is different because,
Very different.
You also grew up in a house that's full of music. And for me, if I were to look back, way back at the time of my teenage years, I'm in boarding school, we're listening to radio. And at the time, if you were able to have any kind of music, it would have been records, LPs. And then after that, the tape recorder came with tapes that you had to press play and then press stop, that kind. So we would listen to the song on the radio and someone will get a notebook to write the lyrics because all of us had to be able to sing this song, especially if we liked it, right? And it's the time when the tape recorder came, someone is going to sit by the tape recorder, press play, and you listen, you take notes, press stop, and then rewind to go back. By the time the song gets to the end, there should be a complete a notebook full of lyrics. Sometimes they were wrong because you couldn't really hear what they were saying. But now we're going to share this. There was no like, go and print this, copy this. It's a copy from hand to hand notebook. So you share this notebook all around the dorms because we're all taking notes. So everybody's going to have this wrong lyrics because of the note taker, the first one, right? But when the song comes, man, the entire dormitory is singing on top of their lungs these wrong lyrics. And we absolutely love it. By the time I was growing up, then there was like Whitney Houston, and there was Anita Baker, and of course, Bob Marley.
Bob Marley.
Oh my goodness, did we love the reggae music so much Buffalo Soldier, things like that.
I do love Bob
Yeah,
Marley.
very, very much. And even when I met Dad, I was enjoying R&B and the Buffalo Soldier. And he played for me the Bob Marley, and I was like, he's all right. He's all right.
I like when we were kids, the version of trying to write down all the lyrics. We had the tech that we didn't have to do that, but we were children. So we'd hear a popular song at the time, Gangnam Style,
Oh,
right?
Lord.
Or
I
whatever
remember that.
else. Gangnam Style, Fireflies, whatever. And because it was just a schoolyard full of children, we didn't know any Korean. So we just make up the words, but in English.
That's so cool. That's the best.
I'm really nostalgic for that kind of time. It's not a lot of my favorite stuff. These days I kind of lean a little bit more to pop these days. I've gotten really I was into it when I was a kid, but I've gotten back into Michael Jackson recently because of the recent movie. Or I used to listen to Dad's music a lot when I felt sad. Like the Beatles, Rolling Stones, all that early rock and roll. But I am still nostalgic for the music I grew up with too. My generation tends to call it internet core now, which is from 2000 to like 2015. Let's say 2005, really. If you were a kid at the time and you had consistent access to the internet, these are the songs you would hear a lot. Caramel Dansen, Dota, all kinds of foreign electronic songs. We had no clue what any of it meant. What's it? I'm trying to think of the name of this one song. I know the lyrics. A lot of people call it Numa Numa. But that's not what the name of the song is. But whatever the name of the song was, the point is, these were the things that defined this era of the internet. People were still learning for the first time that before 2005, in 2000 or the late 90s, if you were a fan of something and you wanted to put that out on the internet, you just build a website for it.
And that was.
Or you could go on some forum and kind of cry out into the darkness to see if anybody liked this thing you liked, which not often they did. But from 2005 onwards, that's where YouTube comes into play. And that made it so much easier to express love for the things you liked. I saw so many, before I even knew what Pokemon was, I saw so many tributes to Pokemon. With music like popcorn playing, right? And it'd just be a slideshow of a bunch of characters you liked with whatever silly little song like Pika Girl or something playing. And it's so funny. And it was like, that's a lot of how I got into the fandoms I liked. I really liked Sonic as a kid. But I didn't know anybody else who liked Sonic. So where did I go to share in my love for Sonic? YouTube.
That's so cool.
Where people would take cutscenes out of Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors and put grunge rock over it. Let's put Smells Like Teen Spirit over it, stuff like that. And it was kind of stupid. And what would definitely be defined today as cringe. But I love that about it. It was authentic because people were putting stuff up on YouTube just to put stuff on YouTube. You could go viral, yes, but nobody went viral on purpose.
Right.
Our modern definition of virality didn't exist.
Right. That is true. I was thinking about when I met Dad, the kind of music I listened to before would have been R&B And there was a time I was so in love with jazz, Coltrane, Winston Marsalis, and things like that, because it was considered sophisticated in my time. But R&B,
do love R&B.
Jill Scott, India Ray, things that when I met Dad, that's what I was listening to. If you ask me what I was listening to, And then he introduced me to blues because he played blues. And then the love of going to live concerts. By the way, when I was younger, when Michael Jackson came to South Africa, I went to the concert.
Right, that's when we both have in common, Michael Jackson.
Yes, I went to the concert, So, but when I met your dad, he would go to Jazz Fest in New Orleans and all of these amazing musicians I was experiencing for the first time. But for me, the most important that I will ever remember that picture in the bedroom that had, used to be in Dad's office. It was me wearing a purple shirt, holding you as a baby, wearing a hat. You remember that? That was a B.B. King live concert.
That was a B.B. King concert?
There was a B.B. King live concert in New Orleans. The most important concert I ever attended with you as a baby. I'll never, ever forget that. Because to me, it was just like, I couldn't believe that I could go to a concert that B.B. King was playing. And to think that from where I came from to where I was at that particular moment, it was like a dream. It felt like I was out of body. In a way, it just felt so
to this day, I
unreal.
Still love blues because of that.
Now, I'm just going to say that when I'm listening to blues, first I had a problem after Dad passed to listen to his music. But now when I'm happy when I'm listening to it because I'm choosing to remember him in a way that's not making me sad. And I'm like, when I listen to it, I can hear his guitar, even if it's not him playing. I'm like, oh, that's your dad. You hear that? Oh, that's so good, And it's so great that now we have that. We can see him live playing in concerts on these recordings too, and not start crying, but rather be it's just happy we have it. Yeah. So I'm happy for that too. Thank God.
Even sometimes I'll listen to a song he never actually particularly listens to himself, but it'll be a blues song, so I'll love it anyway.
Right.
I've always had a song in my heart at some point. And the very first one was blues. Do you remember? When I was a baby. Actually, even before I was a baby.
In my belly?
When I was still in your belly.
When you would dance, it was weird.
Dance to
you
blues.
Would dance to Muddy Waters.
Muddy
I'm a
Waters,
man
Spanish
child.
boy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Exactly. As soon as that instrument comes, you will be bouncing in my belly, and I'll be like to your dad, "Oh my gosh, look at this! You gave birth. You gave a child that is like a blues old soul." That was so crazy that you did that.
So one of my favorite things to tell people was on the day of my birth, as Dad was driving down to the hospital to come see us, he called up because it was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So it was WWOZ radio.
That's right.
He dialed up WWOZ while he was driving. He requests that they put on Manish Boy.
Of course.
And that's the song I was born to.
That's the song you were born to.
Special dedication to me.
Oh my gosh, that is such a beautiful memory to remember.
I still listen to it every birthday.
I'm smiling because it's just such a joy to think about it. But before we completely run out of time, I want to just, the very last part, to talk about books. Are they still necessary?
Of course they're still necessary. Granted, I see why people feel they've been made obsolete in some ways. And I get that too. I don't read as much as I should. But in the same way, playing a game is so much more engaging than watching TV is, a book can be just the same. Because you're doing all sorts of imagining. You're filling in the gaps where the paper can't. I don't know. I won't say that reading books is inherently superior to any of these things. But I think it's important to be well-read if you can.
Are we over the time of camping outside the bookstore to buy the latest edition of Harry Potter?
I mean, maybe not Harry Potter anymore. Author's a complete jerk, and really the books were just okay. But they also spoke to something. They spoke to an imagination. They meant a lot to a lot of people because there were a lot of people's first look through books into such a wonderful world. A lot of reading before then, not that fantasy didn't exist before then, but a lot of reading would be stuff like Moby Dick, a classic, or 1984, also a classic, but also based in reality and kind of miserable, if we're being honest. Miserable in a good way, yes, but still miserable. But Lord of the Rings, for example, or those earlier Harry Potter books, though, like I said, creator's a total jerk. That was different. That was special to a lot of people, kids and adults both.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, that's a great one.
I love the movies that came out of that.
I love the movies that came out of a lot of books I like. For example, How to Train Your Dragon, one of my favorite movies of all time. And then I read the books they came from. Nothing like any of them.
I don't know. If you read a book first and then it's made into a movie, sometimes people are disappointed.
Because it's nothing like the book, and I get that. But what I realized was, aside from the creator of the books being okay with the changes, when you adapt something, it's best to adapt it in a way that's faithful to the medium you're adapting it to.
Yeah, I agree.
And not necessarily faithful to the original work, because then what's the point of the adaptation if you're just going to make the same thing twice?
I guess.
Though I absolutely still feel that way about things like game remakes, where if they change a little bit too much, I get a little annoyed.
Who's that author that have this famous quote about, the summer that I was
That was Mark Twain.
The coldest summer I ever had was in San Francisco.
The coldest winter I ever had was a summer in San Francisco. He was witty. He was wicked sharp. And that's what people liked about Mark Twain's books. Tolkien had the grandiose adventure. Harry Potter was part adventure, yes, but also partly nostalgic because it was school kids. But Mark Twain's books, it was about that dry American wit he had. It was about the way he played with words and the way he didn't really care about anything, so he wasn't stuck to normal writing conventions. Or I really liked, one of my favorite books was, I can't remember the name. I think it was called Slaughterhouse-Five, a World War II story following this guy called Billy Pilgrim. And you know how the movie Pulp Fiction jumps around in time?
Yes.
Like it starts at the middle, ends at the middle. The Slaughterhouse-Five does that same thing, where it's a book about Billy Pilgrim's memories, but they're all out of order. One moment he'll be fighting in World War II. Another moment it'll be decades later talking about his experience with aliens. Another moment it'll be decades before World War II, being a high schooler, an awkward one at that. Another moment it'll be a year or two after World War II, getting married and settling down. Another moment will be right back in World War II, talking about a time he ate bad food and his entire platoon was stuck on the toilet for hours. And it's kind of a sad book, but I also think it's a really important book for the way it tests and challenges the way we normally do things. People don't usually write like that, out of order like that. But then there's Slaughterhouse-Five. I've always respected media that breaks away from a mold, just for the sake of breaking away from it. I've always respected media that hears, you can't do it that way. It's supposed to be done this way. And goes, screw that. I think there's value in testing and challenging the way a thing is done. In media, but also in real life. Well, I suppose not real life. That's real life too. But in your own personal lives, someone tells you, you can't do it this way. Well, what if you did?
Right. What if? And I love the way you just said that, because it leads us in a beautiful closing. Because I know we could be here longer.
We could be here.
We have a whole lot of
hours and
other
hours.
stuff to talk about when it comes to books, because that's probably what most of the people who don't have access to internet, and well, not today, of course, everybody can hold that on the phone, but most of the time, that's how we got to experience the different worlds that were different from us. Reading the
close.
books, my mom read novels a lot,
Yeah.
and so that you had a card to go to the
Both
library.
of our families were really well read.
We go to the library and get books, and then you read, you return them, and you get news. So thank God for that we had access to that. So you wanted to say something before?
I did want to say, you just reminded me, before we wrap this thing up, I want to know, I've been dying to know, what's your favorite book?
Oof, man. I had not read a book all in its entirety for a couple of months.
It's been a long time too.
I've been reading and dropping a book and then picking up another one and dropping a book. So I haven't read a book. But if I were to think, what's my favorite book? It has to do with Dreamers. I think it was Dreamers is called, I think. It's an old book that was written by someone who actually grew up in Mexico. And I got it from Dad's library. And I have to remember that, what was the author of it. But it's something about dreamers. And reason I picked up that book for the first time I picked it up, because I was having dreams and I just wanted to understand what was going on. So many dreams that I remembered, some prophetic, some just dreams. But this particular book, this particular person was a young person growing up, have a connection to indigenous people, the native people. And because of that, grandmothers and whatever were shamans. And he didn't know that he had that connection, except for he realized it through dreams, and he started writing after that, which became a book. And in his writing about his dreams, he starts by telling how this dream started normally, but they progress to something, to a point where he started to astral travel. And I didn't know what was that. And then when I learned what that meant, he would dream as if he was dreaming, but he would see himself out of his body, traveling around. And he became an expert on doing things like that he started a class of teaching people to do that. And I was reading these things, and the more I was learning, the more I was going. It's a thick book. The more I was going towards the end of it, I myself saw myself in the dream coming out of my body. It freaked him out. Freaked me out, and I stopped reading it. And Dad was like, no, it's okay, read a book, because the reason you picked it up, because there was something that was drawing it to you to the book, things that were related to you. And I continued to end, but I never had that experience again. It ended. I forgot the name of the author though, but I will never ever forget that book. It's like an old book. Do you have a favorite book that you just say out of all the books you ever read?
I got a couple I've really liked. Slaughterhouse-5, The Kite Runner, Darius the Great is Not Okay, the Spy School books.
Oh, yeah.
But I think my all-time favorite, my favorite one to go back to escape with, The Goblin's Puzzle, about this slave boy who was never given a name, a goblin who has a riddle that he'll give people great riches if they solve. But he's a goblin, so he's going to do everything he can to trick you up. A peasant girl named Alice, or just Alice, and a princess also named Alice. And the story is, to oversimplify it, the story is this really fun and interesting book full of tricks and clever ploys. It's this game of cat and mouse where everyone's trying to outwit each other. The boy's not necessarily that smart. He was never educated. But he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Him being nameless actually serves him a couple of times. He encounters a dragon who can only see in names. So he's the only person he's invisible to. Or he manages to convince the goblin, as you can give a goblin 3 conditions as you're solving their puzzle. He manages to use that first condition to make the goblin always tell the truth, no matter what. So any answer or any question he asks, it'll always be correct or true. Things like that. And I think what stuck with me all these years later was this back and forth of everyone trying to outsmart each other and these clever ways that they do it, because not every character is the smartest. They've got to find a workaround. They have to get creative with it. Not everyone's going to have all that knowledge to outwit someone else with. They've got to find another means of doing it, like trickery or deception. And anyway, the book's got a lot of plot twists and things like that. But upon a second reread, you can actually see all of them coming if you're paying attention. And that's part of what's cool to me. A lot of times when a media does a plot twist, right, it'll just come out of nowhere. Nobody could have known it. But the Goblin's Puzzle makes you pay attention to it. You can see these things happening if you're paying attention. You'll know the twist before it happens. It's like figuring out who the villain is in a Scooby-Doo episode.
Right. We got it.
But anyway.
We got to get going.
But I liked that your favorite book had to do with dreams, because I think that's really what a piece of media is at its core. It's someone's dream, not necessarily literally a dream they had while they were asleep. But it's someone's dream made manifest into whatever material way they could.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this quote from Superman that I really liked. I'll read it now. See, he was fighting this guy who represented a push towards cynicism and anti-heroes and the idea that being inherently good and kind is a childish trait. And he gets called a dreamer. And Superman responds, good. Dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us. And on my soul I swear, until my dream of a world where dignity and honor and justice becomes the reality that we all share, I'll never stop fighting.
I love that. What a beautiful quote.
I think no matter what, even if you think it's silly, or if you think nobody's going to like it, or if you think you can't make any money out of it, never stop fighting for your dream. You've got a concept you want to put into a game. You don't know how to code? Learn. Find someone who can to help you.
Yeah.
Or you've got an awesome idea for a manga, but you can't draw. Hire an artist or learn to draw.
That's right.
Whatever you got to do, but never stop fighting for that dream of yours.
Don't stop.
I find you regret the things you didn't do more than the things you did.
Yo, time is very, very short. We got a scripture for this?
Yes, I do. And a good thing, too, because time is short here, too. Pull it up now. A simple verse this time. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Amen.
Amen. So, Thank you for joining us at the kitchen table. Dream on.
Let's wish our friends and family best wishes of dreaming.
Best wishes of dreaming.
May all your dreams come true.
May all your dreams come true.
Thank you for joining us.
Dream
Until next time. Until next time. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for being with me tonight.
Thank you for being with me.